Hey guys, sex changes aren't gross. Reassignment surgery, we call it. And it is so simple to do. I don't understand all the stigma. Now, you don't just chop your dick off. You manipulate the penis in a very simple and easy way in order to make a perfect vagina. And there's all this like, oh no, this kid's doing it, like Jazz Jennings. Oh, she's taking hormones, and then she has this weird little penis, and then she's turning it into a vagina. Yes, it's taken her 4 times to perfect it, but that is probably just the surgeon's incompetence, because the actual surgery itself is remarkably simple. It's just basically zoop, 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 zloop, doop, chick, chick, doodle-loop, doodle-loop, done. And I've created a CGI video that will show you. I showed you the actual footage. There's a lot of blood there, and it gets hard to see. So in this CGI video, you will see how extraordinarily simple it is to go from penis to vagina, to go from the organs that you were given by accident to the true organs you were meant to have. And while you're watching this, you'll realize how unbelievably easy it is. All right, so first of all, you start with this. This is just your average penis. Oh, stop. Easy, 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 easy. Now, you take your scalpel, and you can do this at home. And I would encourage you, if you're having any doubts about your sexuality, if you feel feminine, you feel slightly uncomfortable in your body, if you're bipolar, if you're depressed, if there's anything remotely wrong with your life, I recommend you do this. And once you have the correct genitalia, you will feel like $1,000,000. Your depression will end. Any confusion you have will end. And you'll be like every other woman walking down the street. I mean, you won't be able to give birth, unfortunately, not yet. But all your problems will be solved, and you'll just be a normal woman. And all it takes is this, which is basically like getting your ears pierced. Anyway, very simple. We'll go through this really quickly. You just make an incision down the bag. Boop, done. And then with with the, what are they called? Tongs? Tweezers? Little pincer things? You just move the bag out of the way, right? Boom, boom. This is balls being removed. Now, we do this with dogs all the time. Just zoop, boop, your balls are gone. Now, that's going to prevent testosterone being produced. Now, you can be even more of a lady. So now you have the loose bag. Here's what we do with the penis. And this is very simple. You can do this at home. You just take a scalpel, you cut the top, separate the head from the shaft, okay? And now we want to show it with the scalpel. You just want to peel that back, right? And then just keep doing incisions underneath the head until, stop. And this is actually kind of fun. If you can get permission to be in the operating room, it's really interesting seeing these done. And how you'll watch this whole video, if I wasn't pausing it, is about 3 minutes. The operation doesn't take much longer than that. So just keep chopping away at the mushroom. No, stop. What are you doing, Ryan? Way too fast. Go back. See, it's so simple and easy that you can get confused. So yeah, just keep chopping away at the head, and then just go frame by frame almost here. Yeah, and just keep making lacerations. And basically, just stop. The penis is made of 3 tubes. Now, those 2 tubes on the outside, those 2 little clown balloons, those are what fill up with blood and create the erection. You don't want that anymore. You don't want an erection. What, are you going to have an erect vagina? Okay. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of those. Now, remember, we have a hole in the bag where we remove the balls. We've peeled back this. And what we want to do is, this is going to be our vagina. So what we want to do is get all this meat out of the way and pull it through the bag, which is just as simple. You're familiar with the Colombian necktie where they slit a guy's throat and pull his tongue out? Exactly the same thing. And it's fun to do. I've done it several times. Show them slowly now. So we've done some good cutting. You want to be careful with that hole now, that sort of butthole you made, because that's the future vagina. Grab all of those strands you just made, the 3 balloons, right? Get that bottom skin out of the way. Have him lift his legs up, or have someone else lift his legs up. Look, he's got boobs already. Then just scoop that, and you loop it through. Now, this is like putting a thread through a needle. Boom, done. Now, we want to get rid of the boner tubes, okay? So we just keep cutting with scissors. You ever had an ingrown toenail? It's very similar to that. You just sort of cut down, and these boner tubes are the ingrown toenail of the penis. That's gotta go. So keep slicing down. There's a tiny bit of blood when you do this because those are full of capillaries. And you probably shouldn't change your mind because it's not easy putting all this shit back together again. It's the Humpty Dumpty of operations. So just keep cutting and gnawing away at the boner tubes until that little thing, that's the urethra right there. That's where the pee comes out. And the pee is going to be coming out. You obviously don't want it coming out of the same hole as the vagina, right? So the pee is going to be coming out of the hole in the bag. And I know right now it looks like a cartoon bear yawning. We're going to be stitching up this entire bag and leaving this urethra intact as soon as we can get rid of these pesky boner tubes. So slice down, slice down. At this point now, if you're the surgeon, you could go have a cigarette because everything's done. So now we have, just stop. Now we have the penis tube. That's going to become the clit now, the head. And then we have the urethra. And this is going to become the vaginal canal, which is inside out penis skin. Now, of course, there is a slight problem here where the opening of the vagina will continue to grow hair, just like the base of a penis grows hair, and those hairs will wear off, go down the canal, and become like hair pies. What do you call those? Hair balls that cats choke on? So you'll get hair balls in there. That's no problem. You'll be seeing a gynecologist now that you have a vagina. He can get in there with his tongs and just pull out the various clumps of hair, just like the hair in your sink. This is your new sink. So things are going fantastic here. Now we burn some holes in the top. I may have temporarily forgotten why we're making holes there. Oh, yeah, sorry. So we go back. We take the penis skin back. A lot of the times, by the way, when you're doing this, it's like jazz. And you can ad-lib. Maybe you come up with a new idea. This is how sexual reassignment surgery evolves. You take a risk. You say, what if we were to stuff the tube back up into a hole I just made with a laser beam? That's an idea, too. I think what they're going to do is make that the urethra, which is all the way down here, and maybe pull this head into the other hole and make that the clit. All right, so, by the way, this is virtually painless. So he's made sort of a toilet plunger shape here for the vaginal canal. We've got, wait, sorry, what's happening to the head here? Did I miss something? Go back a frame. Oh, yeah, so the head's too big to be a clit. So you just very quickly just remove this sort of edge of the helmet, throw that in the garbage. You'd be surprised how much meat you have in your tray when you're done this. Now you elongate that. That's still the vaginal canal. And now what we're going to do is poke the head through one of the handmade holes we made, and that's our clitoris. Okay? So if you've ever rubbed the tip of your penis and it feels nice, well, you're going to love it now that it's a clitoris. The urethra now goes into hole number 2, and okay, you pull it all the way out like a piece of spaghetti, and now you start cutting up the hole. Now this is back to our penis shaft we had a while ago. I guess you yank that all the way out, and you slice it down, right? Just pause, because a woman's urethra is this long. A man's urethra is the length of his penis. That's too much urethra. So what I recommend you do, and what a lot of my friends do, is they will cut down that urethra hole, that urethra tube, and make it just to the hole. So it's a nice, small woman's urethra. Now, of course, while all this is healing, you'll be urinating into a colostomy bag. That's perfectly normal. The healing process is a whole other video we're going to do, and we'll show you in depth how to do it. It's very easy, ladies. You just, obviously, the hole is trying to shut. So you just dilate. You have various dildo sizes that you leave in there. So just like with an earring, the hole can't seal. Anyway, let's get back to cutting this urethra tube. Why is there so much stigma here? Right, so what you do now with the urethra tube is you fold it over the shaft of the penis vaginal canal. All right, not everything has an explanation. And you sew that together. A lot of these parts are confusing, but they make sense later. So now you're stitching the urethra and folding it over the edge of the vaginal canal, as one does. Now you keep slitting down into the taint. You cut open the what's it called? The prostate, which you've since removed, and then you poke around in there. Keep poking and poking and poking until you find a Christmas tree. And then touch the Christmas tree for good luck, and take it out again, and then take a thread, loop it through the Christmas tree. That will then make the penis, and then just have a bunch of threads, 4 threads appear, and then you pull it all inside out and pull it down and yank it out the butthole. And now we're almost done. We still have some extra bag skin, so we cut away at that. Very simple. This is just origami. Cut those, throw that little corner in the garbage. There'll be a tray next to you if you're doing this at home. Obviously, cut the other tray. It's almost like ears of an elf. Now you got that. This is still bag skin hanging down, and that's just beautiful. You just close that up. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 30 stitches, and you're done with your perfectly beautiful vagina. And it's functioning. That's the head of the penis, believe it or not. And all you have to do is keep dilating it and see your surgeon maybe another 4 or 5 times as he fixes the various mistakes that happen. And surgeons, if you're watching this, don't be scared to take some risks, to try some new stuff, because the penis to vagina process is always evolving. Again, the big picture here is you can see, folks, that's a very simple process. And the only reason there's stigma around trans and sex changes is because of bigotry. So we have to overcome our bigotry, see how simple it is to switch sexes, and kind of wake up.